That's why I'm surprised when I see his phone here. So, go ahead, Habibi.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يقول المصنف
رحمه الله
حدثنا
من المصنف يا شيخ؟
الإمام الترمذي رحمه الله.
Go ahead.
قال حدثنا محمود ابن غيلان قال حدثنا محمود ابن غيلان قال حدثنا وكيع قال حدثنا سفيان قال حدثنا سفيان عن أبي إسحاق عن البراء ابن عازب قال ما رأيت من ذي لمة في حلة حمراء أحسن من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم له شعر يضرب منكبيه
نعم
بعيد ما بين المنكبين لم يكن بالقصير ولا بالطويل.
نعم. طيب, what's in English يا شيخ Abdullah? Can you read the hadith in English?
Al-Bara ibn Azib radiallahu anhu related, I have never seen someone with a limma. What is that?
Limma, and long hair.
Limma.
Close to the shoulder, yes.
Wearing a red garment, more handsome than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He had long hair that reached his shoulders. The distance between his two shoulders, he was, what do you mean? The translation is wrong.
Did you miss something?
The distance between his shoulders.
Yes.
His two shoulders, what are they?
That reaches shoulders, and the distance between these two shoulders. Yes.
That's the same sentence.
Yes. No, which means anyway. So he's talking about because the shoulders they are wide. Between the two shoulders, he was wide. He was big chest.
So the distance between the shoulders was wide.
Yeah. Yes, but something.
He was neither tall nor short.
No. طيب إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. So alhamdulillah, we are still continuing with the hadith of Muhammad ibn Ghaylan, where he says he heard from the Waqi' ibn Jarrah, and Waqi' ibn Jarrah heard from his teacher Sufyan al-Thawri rahimahullah, and Sufyan al-Thawri is narrating from Abi Ishaq al-Sabi'i, which was his teacher, and Abi Ishaq al-Sabi'i, who was from the Tabi'een, he narrated from Bara ibn Azib about the complex, the description of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So usually, as we always do, because this hadith has to do with the characteristics of the Prophet, our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so we have to also look on the narrators who brought this hadith to us. And this is for so many reasons. One of the major reasons, ikhwan, is so the believer can thank Allah Azza wa Jal about this ni'mah. How Allah Azza wa Jal has preserved this deen to us, which is unique. This is unique to beside any other religion before us. And also the second, which is also important to know, Habibi, because who are those people who brought to us this deen? Which kind of characteristics they have? Which are they should be our role models. So in this case, the believer should be proud when he sees their predecessor, their forefather, which kind of people they were to carry on this deen. So in this case, you can walk in this face of the earth and you can thank Allah Azza wa Jal because you come in from this kind of people. And moreover, Habibi, when we read the story about this Sahaba or this Tabi'een, this is our duty, this is our rights upon those people, because what they have brought to us, no matter how much we thank them or we talk about them, wallahi is not enough. Habibi, they brought to us that huda, that nur, which Allah Azza wa Jal has sent 1400 years to guide the mankind. The words of our beloved Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If it wasn't for them, none of us was going to know what the really Prophet said. None of us was going to know what really Prophet looked like. Like we have so many of the previous religious, if you ask them about Isa alayhi salam, about Jesus Christ, about any other Prophet, they don't have anything to tell you. That's why, Habibi, if you really, wallahi, if Allah Azza wa Jal left us with the previous scriptures, with those scriptures what they are today, imagine what you was going to think about Nuh alayhi salam. Imagine what you was going to think about Lut alayhi salam. Imagine what you was going to think about Dawood alayhi salam. About any messenger of God. If you see, for example, when you see in book of Genesis, that you have that book, you have to rate it as an X, which means keep away of reaching children, huh? Keep it away, you cannot. Because Habibi, if you see in that book, for example, the messenger which Allah Azza wa Jal, because of that messenger, he drowned the people who didn't follow that messenger. He drowned them, he killed them, and yet that messenger should be the role model for the people. Yes? So in this case, when the person have a role model, he tell you the best characters and the best thing which you have to do, and then you don't follow that messenger, and then you deserve the punishment. But yet when you see in Genesis chapter 12, you see how they describe Nuh alayhi salam, then you're wondering why the people didn't follow him. They said that Nuh alayhi salam, may Allah don't keep us among those people, but you see the description, Habib, is very scary. He was a drunk man, walking naked. So imagine if the drunk man, walking naked and telling you, you have to follow me, I am your prophet. Are you going to follow him? There is nothing to follow him. So imagine, this is the description of that messenger in their book. If we didn't have this book, Habib, this Quran, wallahi, this Quran came muhayman to protect those Anbiya. Then, one day he was really drunk, and he has 3 kids, and one of the last kids is Ham. And if you see, Habibi, how the policy being put in that book, when Ham saw his nakedness of his father, he started laughing. The other 2 brothers, they covered his nakedness. So when their prophet, no, not our prophet, Noah, when he wake up from the drunk, he start cursing who? Not Ham, cursing the Canaan. Who is Canaan? Canaan is the 4th child of Ham, which wasn't born yet. The Canaan wasn't even born yet. So you see, curse be to Canaans and to his followers, and they will be slaves forever. So why Canaans? What the Canaan has to do with that nakedness? Because Habibi, he tried to program the people, because Canaan, they are the people of color, the Arabs. So those people are cursed by Noah. So they have to be slaves, they have to work, they have to be khadim to the Ben Israel. Well, they don't deserve to have the leadership. So you will see, if I do mistake, my father will curse me. He said, curse me to you and to your kids. But why he's keeping the Ham, and he goes to his 4th child of the Ham, Canaan. And Canaan wasn't even born. To program the people, because when you, person of the color, you Arab, you have to bow down to somebody, you have to serve them, you are cursed by God in the Bible, so you don't have no choice. You belong to Canaan family. So you can tell, Habibi, this is their book. If you go in David and talk about the Lut is sleep with his own 2 daughters. Can you imagine? The message of God, When they went in the cave, the first daughter went to her father, make him drunk. And then he slept with him. Subhanallah. And this is in their book, holy book. And then the second night, the daughter said to the youngest girl, he said, let's make our father drunk, so you may sleep with him, so we can conceive the seed of our father. Can you read that to your daughter? If the daughter said, Daddy, which kind of seed the father had? Which kind of seed? What are you going to tell her? Habibi, this kind of stuff, you have it in their book. And both of them become pregnant. Moabites and Ammonites. The two tribes. And when God told Moses to go destroy it, he said, don't touch these two nations because they are blessed nation. Blessed nation coming for two kids, which is incense. The daughter has to do something. So Habibi, this is in their book. We don't make it up, it's there. So what is the moral behind it? Which kind of role model you have to follow? So Habibi, they don't have anything. That's why, for them it's no problem, this kind of stuff. So Allah has blessed the Habibi with this deen. Not just that, even the people who was carrying on this deen, the qualities of those people is way higher than the qualities of those people was mentioned in Bible. Just regular people, let alone the people who are speaking with God. So you can see, Habibi, why you have to know about these people and why you have to thank Allah Azza wa Jal. That is our beauty. And the second, Habibi, when we see these tabi'een, these leaders, how they live their life, at least you can benefit something. When you see how he was worshipping Allah, so I can try something like that. If you see how he was taking care of this deen, how much, then you say, I want to try something. If you see the way how he was teaching their kids and taking care, you can try the same thing, the way how he is fasting. So this is ibar. So we have to, and also, by this we know how the chain came to us. So in this case we're going to find out, because this class usually is mixed. Talking about those previous, and then talking about the Prophet ﷺ, and also talking about the ahkam and mustalahat, the science of the hadith. So you can find out, when we find in chain of narration, there is person da'if, or the person mudallis, or the person mukhtalif. So in this case we're going to break it down, so at least you have some full information about everything. Nothing passing by, except we're going to address it step by step. So we stop in our hero, one of the best heroes, Habibi, which we need really to teach our kids and our family. And this hero, Habibi, as we mentioned last week, the ulama قالوا هذه معجزة من معجزة الله عز وجل. This is one of the miracles Allah Azza wa Jal has done through these people. And that person is who? Sufyan al-Thawri, Habibi. Sufyan al-Thawri. Ask any child today, ask any grown man today, who is Sufyan al-Thawri? And ask him about the players, and put him in test. You will see the answer, Habibi. Isn't that sad? Wallahi, sad. And that, imagine, Habibi, what's our kids expecting from? We don't know who is Sufyan. Did anybody sit and say, with kids, let me tell you who is Sufyan? Sufyan al-Thawri, when Abu Ishaq al-Sabi'i, when he came in Mecca, as we mentioned, the people shouting, Ja'a Sufyan, Ja'a Sufyan, Ja'a, and everybody's running like some messenger came, and he looked, he said, he saw a little boy, قَدْ بَقُلَ وَجْهُ, يعني he started little hair coming up. Boy, 14, 15 years old. And he's giving fatwa fil halal and haram, حبيبي. يقول يا حي بن قطان والله ما رأيت أعلم من سفيان في الحلال والحرام. How old was that man, حبيبي? 14 years old, 13 years old. باقول وجهه, يعني شعره طلع جديد. Subhanallah. That's how when he saw Abu Ishaq al-Sabi'i, when he saw the wajh, light in his nur, in his face, he recited the word of Allah, وَأَتَيْنَا حُكْمَ الصَّبِيَّةِ وَأَتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمَ الصَّبِيَّةِ, where Allah is talking about Yahya. He says it's impossible this knowledge to come from this kind of age of this kind of person. So Sufyan al-Thawri, rahimahullah, you're wondering why he was like this. Because his father was like this. His mom was like this. You guys remember when we talk which kind of mom he has. And his father, Sa'id ibn Masruq al-Thawri, la shak, he was one of the ulama of the hadith, which all kutub al-sitta, they narrate the hadith from this man. So he took the knowledge first from his from his father. When they asked Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who is Imam? قال الإمام, who is the leader really? قال هو الثوري. قال لا أقدم أحدا عنه في قلبي. There is nobody I can put before him in my heart. Sufyan al-Thawri, ikhwan, he has his own madhab. In the time of Sufyan there was 5 madhab, actually 6 madhab. 4 of them was in the ulama. The madhab was being known because he was in time of Abu Hanifa. But the ulama says madhab Abu Hanifa, madhab Malik, madhab Shafi, madhab Ahmad, madhab Sufyan and madhab Awza'i. Awza'i rahimahullah was with ulama who has their own madhab. Sufyan rahimahullah, his madhab in Dathar didn't carry on, the students they didn't carry on his knowledge. But يقول سفيان ما استودعت قلبي على شيء فخانني. You know what that means? Never I memorize something, I put it in my mind, my heart, and then later on I twist it. Computer, Habibi. Encyclopedia, computer. When he wrote he was memorized over 30,000 hadith bis asanid. They compute. One of the days, one of his students, they say, Ya Imam, when you talk to us about the ahkam fil fiqh, he say you miss the ahkam diyat. You know, when somebody kills somebody by mistake or cut the finger, what's going to be paid? Abiyat. Kitab al-diyat or abwab. He say, listen, when I have some empty time, remind me so I can dictate it to you. So they happened to be in Mecca, and Sufyan was laying down. Students came to him and say, Ya Imam, the Kitab al-Diyat. He said, okay, write it down. فَأَتَاهُ كِتَابًا بَابًا بَابًا. He gave him chapter by chapter, with ahadith, with explanation, by chilling out. That is the Sufyan, rahimahullah. يقول عبد الله بن مبارك لأنه إمام المبارك سبحان الله يقول ما نعت لي أحد فرأيته إلا وجدته دون نعته. ما نعت لي يعني nobody has described to me somebody, you know, like we say, man, if you see this sheikh and this is this and this and this, and then you say, except when I went to see the sheikh, it was less than what the people make it. Sometimes the people they brought the things too big until they explode. Huh? So he said, except Sufyan. You see, except the Imam Sufyan, when they described this man, who he was, he said, when I went to see him, I find him way beyond what they described. That was too little. So Imam Mubarak, if he's talking about this man, so subhanallah, كان الشعيب بن حرب من أحد أقرانه, subhanallah, قال كلمة, يعني he said a very, very, very touchable word. He said, والله إني لأحسب أن يجاء غدا بسفيان حجة من الله على خلقه. You know what that means? He said, I'm afraid, يوم القيامة, in the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jalla will tell to the people, I know you didn't see the Prophet Muhammad. I know you didn't met him. I know you didn't heard his word from him and his action, but you met Sufyan. You knew who was Sufyan, so you don't have no excuse. Which means, the action of this man, the word of this man, was just like you see the Prophet Muhammad in front. He say, Allah say, I'm afraid he will say that Sufyan was there. How can you do these kind of mistakes? So هذا هو Sufyan rahimahullah. His kunya was Abu Abdullah. Say he was born in Sabah in 97 of the Hijrah, which means from Atba At-Tabi'in. So we mentioned some of this before, and we just want to wrap it up today and finish it with Abu Ishaq al-Sabi'i. And if we have time, we will talk a little bit about Abu Ishaq al-Sabi'i, who صنف بالاختلاط والتدليس. One of the things the ulama talk about him, one is the اختلاط. ما معنى اختلاط يا شيخ؟ اختلط في آخره. He started mixing some of the ahadith and words in the end of his age. And also the tadlis. ما معنى التدليس يا شيخ؟ No, give me the definition. We talk about tadlis. Give me the one, I give it to you, Habibi. Tadlis al-isnad.
He hides his sheikh. He says that
هو أن يروي عن شيخ الذي سمع منه ما لم يسمع منه. to narrate from the Shaykh who he was hearing from him something he didn't hear. With a word to look like he heard it from him. قال or an. It's not سمعت. قال, he said, or from him. So we're going to explain some of this when you come to Abi Saq al-Sabi'i. So you now knows how the ulama rahimahullah was investigating the asanid. So you can thank Allah Azza wa Jal again, because which kind of deen you hold. Because some people they say, how did you know? Prophet said that. So when you see how they investigate the chain, you say, my God, I don't do that. I don't do that investigation. Habibi, there is no such an investigation like that today. Today they're just guessing. Could be. Accuse a man by could be. If you see how they was taking care of this asanid, we're going to talk inshallah when the time comes. So Imam Sufyan rahimahullah, هذا Imam, this man, one of the things Habibi we have to know, he chose the deen over the dunya, as we mentioned before. And from so much he was busy with ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ, one day he was a little bit weak with the money, with the provision. So he went to complain to his uncle. Just so you can see which kind of family he has, Habibi. He said, listen uncle, I'm a little bit short with the money, I don't know what I'm going to do. You know what the uncle says? He just slapped him in his face. He said, don't have no shame. He said, complaining? He said, wallahi, this eye I have, I don't see with this eye for 70 years. He said, even my wife doesn't know. I didn't see light. I never complain, which we never complain. And you're going to complain about small little tightness? قال وين التوكل? So Sufyan said, wallahi, when he hit me, I realized, because the yaqeen, the faith is too weak on me. He said, so I left it. Which means I continue in my deen. So the dunya starts coming behind me. Allah has opened the doors. So هذا الرجل Sufyan Habibi, he was saying, I will never stop. You know how many years this man was giving fatawa? The ulama rahimahullah, one of them, Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Qattani said, wallahi, for 70 years, this man I see he's giving deen. 70. So I mean from when at young age till the, and yet he was saying, wallahi, ما زلنا نطلب العلم ما دام هناك من يعلمون. I will still go search for knowledge as long there is somebody to teach me. And he say, if the students, they don't come to me I teach the words of the Prophet, I will go to them. But Habibi, his goal is not to carry name. His goal is to spread this deen of Allah, because he knows what he's carrying. He knows the value, Habibi. من سلك طريقا يلتمس فيه علما سهل الله له به طريقا إلى الجنة. He knows which path he has taken, Habibi. The Prophet says, somebody take a path. For what? For business, trade. No, Habibi. Path for this deen. Allah will make easy his path in Jannah. Who doesn't want his path to be easy for Jannah? Habibi, he knew the word of the Prophet. نَضَّرَ اللَّهُ مْرَأً سَمِعَ مَقَالَتِ فَحَفِظَهَا فَأَدَّاهَا كَمَا سَمِعَ. He wants this dua of the Prophet ﷺ to have it, to be part of it. When Allah will put light on those people, Yawm al-Qiyamah, those who carry this deen, this word, and spread it away. So he knew, Habibi, which kind of tijara he's doing, and with who he's making tijara. He said, if they don't come, I will go to them. Habibi, subhanallah, which kind of taste these people has in these words of the Prophet? When he knows what the Prophet says about him. About this kind of khair. So these things yanqusuna, Habibi. Did any of us, Habibi, memorize the hadith with that intention? He said, I'm going to memorize this so I can get in amal bin niyat, so I can get the reward. Or I will go teach somebody with that intention. First thing before we do anything, Habibi, first thing coming in our mind, how much is going to pay me? That is the first question. And then, you say, also I do for Allah. Thawab and then chabab. Or chabab and then thawab. But subhanallah, Habibi, these people, that's what I'm saying. This is to the person bound and sees, subhanallah, how can this man think like this? And he's one of them, those usud, those lions, what they brought this deen to us. And that's why this deen came strong. The man, Habibi, who can remind me the word Sheikh Abdullah we mentioned when the Ata mentioned when he was in a bad death, when the Sufyan was in his bed, in the end of his life, and somebody mentioned hadith. He pulled right away from his pillow. Qalam. He said, Imam, you don't need this. He said, this is Hasan. It's one good thing. If I write it and I'm still alive, I wrote one extra good thing. If I die with, I heard one extra good thing. His mind is, Habibi, how to get more. And yet, when Abdurrahman Mahdi went to him and he said, I never saw a man to cry as much Sufyan was crying. And they were asking, yeah, Imam, why are you doing that? Are you crying because of your sin? I mean, and he took a little piece, like this, little of those toothpick, the small one. He said, Wallahi, the dhunubi ahwanu alayhi min hada. The sin I make is less than this. Because those Salaf, they knew Habib which kind of sin they make. Today we cannot count it because too much. He said, Wallahi, my sin is less than this. But I'm afraid till I finish my soul come out, and I'm written in kitab, in al-Kitab Shaqiyya. Or I'm afraid I will die and my iman will come out before I die. Habibi, these people, subhanallah, al-khawf and the love from Allah Azza wa Jal, it was beyond the imagination. So also, the Yahya bin Sa'id al-Qattan, rahimahullah, قال, when he mentioned, he say, I never saw any man I love him more than Shu'bah. Who is Shu'bah? Habib Islam, Amir al-Mu'minin في الحديث, Ibn Hajjaj. He say, except Sufyan. And he say, Shu'bah is Amir al-Mu'minin. Sufyan is Amir al-Mu'minin. This title, Habibi, is not small title. This was the title like you have today, that the biggest guy, huh? No, everybody can get this. He say, but if the Shu'bah and Sufyan, they get in dispute in something, always I was taking Sufyan. And between Sufyan and Shu'bah, there were almost 50 masail, 50 masail, issues. And subhanAllah, I say, happened to be in all of 50 of them, Sufyan was in haq. He was right and Shu'bah was wrong. That's why when the Shu'bah, rahimahullah, mentioned one of the hadith, and the guy said, listen, but Sufyan, he said something else. قال له دمغتني. You knock me down. You knock out. Soon he said, but Sufyan, he didn't say, he said something else. He said, then you got me, man. Shu'bah. So if the Shu'bah min Aqran, he has proved this, that who was Sufyan, then Habibi, just think who was Sufyan. So Sufyan, rahimahullah, قال فضيل بن عياض, كان سفيان أعلم من أبي حنيفة. Sufyan was way more knowledgeable than Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So you can tell why he has his own madhab. Even though the madhab of Abu Hanifa was spread because he had the students, they carry on. The student of Sufyan looks like they didn't do a good job for some reason. But this person was عالم من علماء. قال بشر الحافي كان الثور عندنا إمام. يعني سفيان يقول في زماننا كأبو بكر وعمر في زمانهم. He said Sufyan, he was our imam in Kufa. He said Sufyan in Kufa was just like Abu Bakr and Umar in the time of Sahaba. You see the level, Habibi, they put this man. يعني subhanallah, يعني is شيء عجيب. ومع ذلك يا شيخ, this Sufyan, يعني he was مزاح. He was joking a lot. هو أخشى لله. يعني he was the man, كما قال قبيصة, وكان من أحد أقرانه كذلك, is Kalis. He says, I never sit in majlis of Sufyan except I was feeling like I'm in the end of my life. يعني كان يذكرني بالموت. He was reminding me about the death. His majalis was majalis كلها reminder about the one which cuts off your sweetness of this dunya. اذكروا هذه ملذات. So he says, Sufyan, وَأَمَا ذَلِكَ, Sufyan, he was mazah, he was joking. He was joking a lot. He says sometimes he was joking until he was falling down in the market and laying down and laughing. He said, until I was telling, listen, sometimes he said, Khubayz, I was going behind him back, so I was embarrassed. The man had that as-sa'a was-sa'a, that the Prophet said to Hamza, as-sa'a was-sa'a. He gave to Allah what he wanted, and also he wasn't the person who always, if somebody laughed, he said, Taqillah, why are you laughing, man? You know the hellfire, you know this. No, he was people just like the Salaf. The Prophet ﷺ was one among them who was laughing and making fun with the Sahaba. As you guys know, he grabbed the Sahaba from the back and said, who's going to buy this slave? And the Sahaba realized he was the Prophet. He said, so if you sell me, you will lose. Nobody's buying me, I'm too cheap. But you inside of Allah, you are expensive. So Miqdad ibn Aswad radiallahu anhu, he said, when I was in Medina with two of my friends, he said, we were so hungry. So he said, nobody welcome us. Because they didn't say to somebody who's hungry. They wait till somebody say, come. He said, we keep waiting till the Prophet ﷺ walked. And he said, the Prophet saw us in our face, a hadith is Muslim. And he said, come with me. Man, Habibi, this Prophet of Allah, he knew, just by looking the face of his companions, he knew what's going on. Why they are there. So he said, he took us home. And he told me, he said, go, I have three goats, and get some milk, and bring it so we can drink together. So Miqdad was happy. So he went, he brought the milk, and they was thinking together, and the Prophet of Allah said, you guys stay here. But every time, he said, I go usually visit the Sahaba after the prayer of Isha, and when I come home, he said, you just leave my parcel, my share of the milk, and you guys go sleep. He said, okay, Ya Rasulullah. So every night, he was taking the milk from the goat, drinking his share, his friends, and then the other share he was covering and leaving to the Prophet. So the Prophet was coming slowly, so he doesn't wake up the sleep, but also in a way so give salam so the sleep can hear, but the others, so the one who is awake can hear, but the other who are asleep, they don't get disturbed. So he was drinking. One of the night, يقول Miqdad radiallahu anhu, shaitan came to me. After I drink my share, the shaitan came and said, why you left the share for the Prophet? He said, you know Prophet is going with Sahaba, they take care of him, they're not going to let them leave him out hungry, he doesn't need this thing. That's how the shaitan works, Habibi. He said, come on man, just let us see, just make astaghfirullah and you're done. And that's how they work, shaitan, Habibi. So subhanallah, he said, he got me. He said, yeah, Prophet, it was Sahaba. Of course, Sahaba, when they go guest, you know what they give to the Prophet, and he enjoyed. So he said, I took and I drink. He said, until when the milk reached in the stomach, then the shaitan said, man, what you did? He said, you have deceived the Prophet of Allah. You broke his word, his promise. He said, now he will come, and he will raise the hands and make dua against you, and he will destroy the dunya and akhirah. But he's done it, he's gone, how are you going to take it out? You say, I start getting scared. Because that's exactly what we was agreed. He says, I try to sleep, but I cannot. When person when he's scared, he's not going to sleep. You know, even if he act like sleeping, you see the heart is beeping. He said, I covered my head, my feet was exposed. I covered my feet, my head was exposed. So he tried to cover completely so the Prophet doesn't see him. So he said, I'm just waiting. So the Prophet walking slowly, like all the time. And I'm watching from the cover. He said he went slowly and he opened and he see the pot was empty. So he raised his hand. He said, oh my God, now I'm done. Now it's finished. I'm done. So the Prophet ﷺ raised his hand. Habibi, hada Nabiyyur Rahma ya Shaykh. And he said, Allahumma atim man at'amana, wasqi man saqana. He said, Allah, provide at'im man at'amana, and also give drink to the one who give me drink. So he say, when the Prophet make dua, I just jump. And I say, I took the knife, the guy he said, I took the knife and I went to slaughter one of the goats. One of the goats so I can feed the Prophet so I can get the dua. And the dua of the Prophet doesn't return back. So I said, I want to be the first one to feed him and give him drink so the dua of the Prophet can touch me. So he said, I just walked. He didn't even talk to the Prophet. Just get up and run. He said, when I went to the goats, I saw the goats, her milk, you know, what they call the breast, huh? The milk was already full. I never saw in my life. And he said, I forgot I was slaughtering. Because I thought there's no more milk left. Because she was on, and I keep taking the milk. He said, the biggest pot the Prophet had in the house was coming out, over full. And so I came straight to the Prophet and said, I'll drink. And the Prophet said, Ya Miqdad, wake up your friends, so we can drink together. He said, no, you drink first. He wants to get the dua, Habibi. So I said, what happened? He said, please drink, Ya Rasulullah. So he drank. He said, drink again. He drank again, and then he fall down and he started laughing. And the Prophet said, Ihda sawatik ya Miqdad. I mean, watch yourself. You know, his aura is coming out. He said, what are you doing? Something is wrong with you. You did something. He said, Ya Rasulullah, that's what I did. He said, now Ya Rasulullah, you can wake up anybody. I don't care. I was waiting for this dua. And he told him how the shaitan deceiving the people. So the Sahaba, Habibi, they was laughing, joking even in front of the Prophet ﷺ. That was their life. But in the same time, the Prophet, when the time of Salah was coming, he was running out from his house and he didn't know anybody. Neither wife, neither friend, nobody. Like he is a stranger person. عجلت إليك ربي لترضى. كان هكذا صفات السلف. فسفيان الثوري يقول قبيصة ما جلست في مجلس إلا كان يذكر إنه موت. Every time I sit in his masjid, except this man was remind me the death. But at the same time, he was making fun. So the person has to have the balance. He goes with the wife at home and she tries to joke with him, come on, taqillah, fear Allah. You know people, they dying over there for water and you come making fun. Subhanallah, what is this now? I know people dying for water. How that we're making dua for them? But we cannot make all huzn, neither we can make all just have fun joke. But sa'a wa sa'a. That's why the Prophet ﷺ tell that to Handala. Why Handala thought that? Because when he was going to the Prophet, there was Allah Prophet was reminding them for akhirah. When they was going home, yarhamukallah, they was having fun with the family. So they thought they have nifaq. So I'm hypocrite. I'm asking the Prophet, I was that nice guy, and here I'm having fun with my family. So he came out, and he saw Abu Bakr in the other side walking out. He said, well, what's make you come out this? It was qaylule. After Dhuhr, nobody came out except there's something going on. He said, I think nafaqa hambar. I think I have nifaq. He said, why? He said, what happened? He said, this and this. Abu Bakr said, I feel me too. I think I'm the same. So they went to the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet said, لا, قال لا, ليس هذا. الساعة وساعة, 1 hour for your family, 1 hour for Allah Azza wa Jal. Give that balance. Extremist, exaggeration and everything is مذموم, is not acceptable. يقول عبد الرحمن المهدي رحمه الله, كنا نكون عند سلطان كأنه قد أوقف للسحاب للحساب من خشية الله. He say, كنا نكون, when we was in the Sufyan, we was seeing Sufyan Majlis. The guy is about to give dars in Majlis, and he says suddenly, he was completely out, like he is in front of Allah in Hisab, in the judgment day. Allah Azza wa Jalla is counting his deeds. He says, the guy is not there. He forgot about us. He's crying. He said, the only way we can bring him back, he said, by starting hadith. حدثنا فلان, حدثنا فلان, حدثنا فلان. Then the Sufyan was يقول حدثنا and keep going. Otherwise, he was completely out, thinking about آخرة. هذا هو السفيان. كان عجيب في قيام الليل. يعني سبحان الله يقول كان يقوم الليل حتى الصبح في أيام كثيرة. Most of the days he was praying قيام الليل till morning. And then he was putting his feet in a wall so the blood can come down. This is Sufyan. If he was eating some extra food, he was talking to himself. قال اطعم عبدك ثم كده. يعني كده يعني يجوز يعني work him up. يعني feed your slave and then work him up. He's talking to himself because he was eating sometimes extra meat. So he was eating extra meat, then he was talking to himself, now when you feed the slave, now you tell him now get up and work. Which means, I have to do something. My God has feed me, then I have to do something. So he was getting up and praying during the night. Today, Habibi, when we eat, we even leave the Isha sometimes, Habibi. It's too much. And falling asleep. The Salaf, subhanAllah, if he eat more ni'mah, he say, I have to pay this ni'mah with extra ibadah. Today, if we eat more, we forgot even the Isha, forget about the Qiyamul Layl. قال علي بن فضيل رأيت الثوري ساجدا. اسمع يا إخوان. رأيت الثوري ساجدا. I saw the Thawri in Mecca, ساجد. فطفت 7 قبل أن يرفع رأسه من السجود. Can you imagine? I saw a Thawri in sujood and I make tawaf in Mecca 7 times. And Thawri still in sujood, ya ikhwan. Still in sujood. Between the Maghrib till Isha. Habibi, this is, you don't, just try it. 5 minutes, Habibi, to put your head in the ground. 5 minutes. Your blood will come all about to come out. 7 يقول والله رأيته يسجد بعد المغرب وما رفع رأسه إلا عند أذان العشاء. He put his head after Maghrib in sujood and he didn't raise it till the Adhan of Isha. السفيان الثوري رحمه الله. فكان يقول عبد الرحمن المهدي كنت لا أستطيع كان لا يستطيع السماعة القرآن إلا وهو يبكي. If Sufyan al-Thawri was Imam sometime, when he was reciting the Quran, nobody couldn't even understand min al-buka. When he started reading the Quran, Habibi. Because those people, they, Habibi, وَإِذَا تُلِيَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتُهُ زَادَتْ يعني صفات المؤمن إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم. Just mujarrad Allah, he starts shaking. Can you imagine if he knows the meaning and then he knows when he says Alhamdulillah, يقول عبد الرحمن المهدي كان يبدأ بالفاتحة and he's coming to the word إياك نعبد and then he start crying and he goes again. After a few minutes to come down, he start again from beginning Alhamdulillah Rabbi. He couldn't continue. حبيبي سبحان الله الحمد لله رب العالمين. ماذا يقول الله عز وجل؟ سبحان الله, Allah is speaking to you. If you put it in Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Allah is speaking to you. Malik Yawmiddin, Allah is speaking to you. إياك نعبد وإياك Allah عز وجل say هذا بيني وبين عبدي ولي عبدي مسال. لعبدي مسال. Then he wants to ask Allah, he cannot handle himself from crying. This is between me and my servant, I will give what he wants. And he wants that hidayah. الذين أنعم الله عليهم من النبيين والصديقين والشهداء والصالحين. فسبحان الله كان يتلذذ بالقرآن. They was tasting the sweetness of this book. Wallahi. Today, Habibi, we are so much busy today with singing. Wallahi, our goal is did I twist it good enough? Did I make it enough good twist? The guys over there like it. Huh? Let me twist this different way. Maybe he's like it. We are busy with that. Wallahi. We are busy with that. Today, Habib, when we bring the Imam, what is the first question? How is his voice? How many maqamat? No, he can read one ayah with one breath. Really? That's what it is, Habibi. لا يغنيهم إلا لا يأمهم إلا ليغنيهم. Wallahi, this is a sad thing. هذا الرجل لما يخرج أمام الله هو إعلان ساعة أتدرون بين يدي من أريد أن أقف. كان سفيان عثمان بن عفان كان يصفر وجهه. When he was coming Imam, his face was changing. يقول ما لك يا أمير المؤمنين? Wow, what happened يا أمير المؤمنين? قال أتدرون بين يدي من أريد أن أقف. You know in front of who I'm sitting now. They know the conversation, Habibi. They knew the Prophet spoke the truth. كان سفيان قال يوسف بن أسباط كان سفيان إذا أخذ في ذكر الآخرة يبول دما من خشية الله. يعني when he mentioned the آخرة, Sufyan, when he's talking about آخرة, he says sometime when he was going urinating, أكرمكم الله, he was urinating blood. Because it's known when the fear is too high, the liver produced, he started producing blood. He said when he was trying to see Amr bil Ma'ruf, he see something wrong, and he couldn't stop him. He couldn't make Amr bil Ma'ruf. He said, كَانَ يَبُولُ دَمًا خَوْفًا مِنَ اللَّهِ. Because they knew everything what they see, they was making the connection with Allah. That's why Sufyan, one of the wasaya, one of his advisors to his students, قال يقول ليس الزهد بأكل الغليظ ولا بلبس الخشن. الزهد, to be righteous, is not to wear some thick and clothes and eat something which is dry, and bread left 1 week. No, it's not that zuhd. That is not humbleness and khushu and sifat of righteousness. No. لكن قصر الأمل وارتقاب الموت. This is a zuhd. To that hope, to have it short. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be this, and I'm going to go there. And he's planning like he's going to live. Wallahi, the way how he's planning, if you put this calculator, it looks like he's going to live 300 or 400 years old. You cannot finish that for these years. Big! And he doesn't care. He's like the death, he forgot about him. Somehow the angel of death, they drop his list somewhere. Sufyan al-Thawri قال, you want a zuhd is too short. To think like you're going to die tomorrow. That's how the Sahaba was thinking. That's why they was working for akhirah. And irtiqab al-maut. Irtiqab al-maut, Malik ibn Dinar, we mentioned, he was grabbing his beard all night like this, Habib, and crying. And he was saying, Ya Allah, you have قسمت الناس للجنة وقسمت الناس للنار. وأين مالك ibn Dinar? You have people of Jannah, you give the shah, and there are people, where's Malik ibn Dinar? Where you put me? In which group you have squeezed me? That's why he worried about it. So you see, Habibi, this salaf, when you listen to them, you see, wallahi, if you don't know who is this man, you will think he's some kind of Nabi, or some of the greatest Sahaba, and he's min atba tabi'in. And he's 4th generation. But look, imanuhum wa zuhduhum. كأنهم بين أصحاب النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. كان عبادة عظيمة. سبحان الله يقول يوسف بن أسباط هو كان من طلابه. قال لسفيان بعد العشاء. سفيان told me after العشاء قال ناولني مطهرة. مطهرة يعني like this. Like it's called like a pitcher. Pitcher, with water. He said, give me after Isha. He said, give me the water. So he said, فأتيته. I give it to him. فأخذها بيمينه. He took it with his right hand. And he said he put his left hand in his cheek and his thigh like this. And I left him. I went to sleep. He said, I came in the Fajr. Sufyan, he's like this. He forgot. He was in Akhirah. He said, Ya Imam, and he says, what happened? He says, Fajr. He said, Wallahi, I was busy with Akhirah. The man whole night, Habibi, he's thinking about Akhirah. Habibi, not all night. Just think to yourself, how many minutes we think about Akhirah before you go to bed or any time? Say, wait a minute. Imagine if today is my death. And after a few hours, I'm in grave. And the angels of death come. And the angels of our question ask, what I have to answer? How much hasanat I have? What is the last thing is written today in my page? Last thing. حبيبي حاسبوا أنفسكم. ليس هذا كلام علي وكلام عمر قبل أن تحاسبوا وزنوها قبل أن توزنوا. يقول عبد الرحمن المهدي رحمه الله سمعت سفيان يقول وهذا في علم بالعمل ما بلغ عن رسول الله حديث قط إلا عملت به ولو مرة واحدة. Sufyan talking to himself, he said, Wallahi, 30,000 hadith, Habibi. Just think. He said, I never heard one hadith of the Prophet. I memorized it, except I work with that hadith, except at least one. Ahmad ibn Hanbal, same thing. Waqi' ibn Jarrah, same thing. Ahmad ibn Hanbal, he read the hadith of hijama. And the Prophet make hijama and give the thaman. He called the hajjam, he said, come here. Make hijama. and then he give the money. He said, because that's a Prophet, I want to do this in my action. He didn't love hadith of the Prophet except he put it at least one. Now the question, Habibi, how many hadith, not we put it, how many hadith we reject it, Habibi? When we know it's the truth. And we drop it. That's why these people, Habibi, when the person said in the beginning, because I'm afraid will come Yawm al-Qiyamah, and Allah says, that's why the Sufyan, you didn't see the Prophet, but you saw the Sufyan. One hadith of the Prophet, he'd never let it go unless he act upon it. Hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. كان زاهدا أقبل عليه الدنيا فتركها. Was the man who never walked in the street except he was doing amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar. Sheikh, ikhwan, this is the vitamins of those ulama. He walk in the street, and what he does, Habibi, drink with the right. Habibi, thawb is still, Habibi, that's what's their job. And haula atba'u salaf, wallahi till today you will see the same path. One of them, Sheikh Albani, Sheikh bin Baz, Sheikh Uthaymeen. That's what their job, Habibi. That's what their job. When they see, he's talking to you and his eyes is like a camera. His eyes like a camera. You talk and say, Habibi, with the right hand. Habibi, close your mouth. Subhanallah. هذا منهجهم. منهج السلف هو أمر بالمعروف والنهي عن المنكر. لأن الله عز وجل, as Sufyan was saying, حراس السماء ملائكة. The security, the guardians of the Shamail is who? Angels. حراس الأرض أهل الحديث. The security, the guardian, the soldiers to protect this earth is who, ya Habibi? أهل الحديث. Because Habibi, their job is to be Amr bil Ma'ruf wa Nahy al Munkar. Sheikh Albani rahimahullah, one of the, I think, I don't remember, either Abu Layla was mentioning, or Mashur Hassan, it was a long time, when he was going in Hajj or Umrah, and Siyara was flipped. I think Mashur Hassan, in his book, about the Terjama to Sheikh Albani, Siyara was flipped. His car was turned upside down. And there was a group of the people, and the guy is screaming, Ya Sattar, Ya Satir, Ya Satir. And the Sheikh is under the car. He said, don't say that is not the name of Allah. Say Satir. It's not such a name. And the guy is under the car, upside down, Habibi, and he hears the guy over there. He's not whatever he said, don't say that. That is not the name of Allah. The guy is mine, Habibi, is not, my arm is broke. Oh, well, how I'm gonna die. No, Habibi, he's thinking to correct somebody before he die, make sure he knows the name of Allah correctly. The attribute of Allah correctly. So that's how was those people, and that's how was the Salaf. Su'id al-Thawri, subhanallah, wa huwa yashtari. Thawri, he was doing business. Because he was also tajir. Because the man, the Thawri rahimahullah, he was saying if the person has meal, salt and dry bread, he said, wallahi, he is the richest guy. Because he was seen as a shame to somebody, ask somebody. And one day he was doing business. So the man come and ask him about halal and haram. He said, Ma tastahi? You don't have shame? You want me to talk about the Prophet ﷺ and I have a dunya in my hand? What's wrong with you? كان يخاف. كان يحترم. He was loving the sunnah, Habibi. The man who came and asked him for talaq, divorce. توقف. قال إنها فروج. I cannot give you answers just like this. This has to do with a woman. Maybe I can make halal. It was tough, Habibi. To somebody which is haram, and I can make haram to somebody which is halal. He doesn't want to give fatwa in talaq. People, Habibi, today give fatwa to kill the brother, Habibi. Say, hada kafir, murtad, damu halal. Kill him. Whoever kill him, Jannah. Fatawi, Habibi, wallahi, fatawi. I remember. He said, أنا ضامن له الجنة. I guarantee for him Jannah. Who kill him, I guarantee for him Jannah. This is not regular guy, Habibi. This is person who is عالم من العلماء الكبار من علماء اتحاد العالم الإسلامي ما أدري إيش. يقول أنا ضامن له الجنة. من أين؟ Where you get this from? I guarantee him Jannah if you kill him. Habibi, the man, he's afraid to give fatwa of talaq. You know, you married a woman, you divorce a woman. People today, Habibi, give fatwa about the dima. Allahumma staan, ya Sheikh. We have so much to cover. Why I cannot finish these things in a time? Okay, we're going to skip and we'll just put some of the thing. يقول الثوري رحمه الله بعدما after the Imam Abu Hanifa رحمه الله was in jail and he died in jail, and you know why he was in jail? Abu Hanifa. You know why?
He refused to be qadi.
He refused to be qadi. He refused to be in a big majlis, giving big money. That's all. No, to be qadi, to be judge, supreme judge, in the top. So after, in the time of Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. So in that time, when Abu Hanifa rahimahullah died, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur said, who is the best to be qadi? They said, there is no best than Sufyan al-Thawri. He said, bring it to me. Next. So Sufyan al-Thawri went to him, and he said, you know what I brought you? He said, no, I don't know. He said, you have to be qadi. There is no more knowledgeable person than you. He said, I cannot do that. He said, no, you have to do it. He said, no, I cannot do that. He said, no, you have to do it. I said, I cannot do that. He said, then he called the guy who was taking care of the people. So he brought the sword, and he put the nylon, you know, that thing in the floor so the blood doesn't mess up the floor. And he said, what are you doing? He said, we're going to kill you. He said, you're going to kill me because I don't want to be qadi? He said, yes. He said, then give me a chance to tomorrow. Because look, my clothes tomorrow, I want to dress like a clothes of qadi, like a clothes of judge. And I will come. He said, okay. So soon Sufyan left. He was in Kufa, Iran. Iran in Basra. And Habibi, subhanallah, he ran and he hid in one of the bustan. You know, farmer, taking care of the date. And he was hiding here. Now, from alim he become, look at a worker, Habibi. Disguised. So one of the days, two people came from Hawla Wuzara who checking about the days for the zakah and for this. So they sit with the guy to test the date if they're ready. So one of them said to him, where are you from? Sufyan said, I'm in Kufa. I'm from Kufa. But he's working in Basra. He said, which date is the ahla? رطب الكوفة أم رطب البصرة؟ قال أما رطب البصرة فما ذقتها. He say, which date is better, the Kufa or Basra? He said, the dates of the Basra I never tasted. And the guy is working where? In a day. He never touched it. And the guy said to his guy, ما أكذبه. قال, the dates of the Basra, قال حتى الكلاب يأكلون. He says, so it looks like he's a liar, man. He said, the dates from the Basra, even the dogs they ate. And he never tasted. So they take the car and they left. And when they left to the wali, and he said, you guys say, and they tell to the wali, he said, we were shocked with one guy today. He was working in a date, and we asked him which date is the more tasty. He said, Basra or Kufa. He said, the Basra I never tasted. He said, what? Who said that? He said, the guy. He said, here's Sufyan, go get him. Kafir let it go. He said, here's Sufyan, because he knows these qualities cannot be except with Sufyan. Somebody working a date and he doesn't touch because it's not his. He said, go get him. But when they went to get him, he was already gone. And rahimahullah, he started his life so from there, he went all the way to Mecca. No house, nothing, Habibi. So he was in masjid. So Abu Ja'far was so upset, and he put an announcement. He said, who bring me his head, I give 100,000 dirham, 100,000 dirham coin, silver coin for him. And the guy is announcing, and Sufyan is behind him. He said, Khalifa give the announcement, who bring, when you tell the people money, they will send even his son, let alone the Sufyan. Especially the people who don't care except about the dunya. They can sell you for penny, Habibi. Wallahi, they sell you for penny. Even if you don't have nothing, they make something just to get the penny. Imagine if they tell you, we'll give you the citizenship. So he say, he sneak out, and he run in Yemen. Rahimahullah. So when he went in Yemen, you know, when you go in a strange place, and you know people looking for you, يقول النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما المهاجر مثله كمثل الفرس في الطول. You know, Faras, the horse, in Tiwal, you know, in Tiwal is that, see from Bassett, who should talk, that, you know, the stick, you put it and then you tie the horse and the horse is going around.
Wow, it's like
you know? Usually they put like big stick in the floor and they tie the horse and the horse is just going around. There's no place to go.
stick with the rope.
Yeah. So usually that's how the Prophet described the muhajir, the person who migrated in other place, because he doesn't know nobody. He sees somebody say, man, I think this guy's spy, man. He's like, I don't know what he wants. So you're always looking around. And some people, they say, I think this guy is thief. Look how they grab him. And they say, he's a sariq, he's a thief. You see how the people accuse Habibi? Somebody taking nap here. So, my voice is so high, Habibi, how can you sleep? I mean, I scare myself sometimes. So, subhanAllah. So, they grab him and they send him to the Emir of the Yemen, Ma'in ibn Za'idah. Was Wali of the Yemen. They put him and say he's thief. But when Ma'in ibn Za'idah saw him, رجل يعني عالي فيه نور in his face. So he said to the people, get out. Leave the man here, the thief here. He said, did you steal? He said, la wallah. He said, what's your name? قال, my name is Abdullah and my father's name is Abdul Rahman. He did it right. فقال سفيان أسألك بالله من تسبت. I ask you for Allah to give me your right nasab. When he swore him by Allah, they say, yes, my name is Sufyan, and my father Ibn قال Sufyan ibn Sa'id. قال نعم. قال بغية أمير المؤمنين. The treasure, what the Amir looking for it? قال yes. فوقف. ماء ibn Zaid كان يضرب له مثل في أنه رجل زاهد. He was righteous man, smart man. So he put his head down. And he said to the Sufyan, قال اذهب. Go anywhere you want. فوالله لو كنت تحت قدمي لما رفعتها. If you are under my feet, right here, I will not raise my feet. Which means I will never expose you. Anywhere you go, just go. So he left. So he was saved. Sufyan al-Thawri, ya ikhwan, Sufyan al-Thawri was one of his karamat. He would never make dua to somebody except the dua was accepted. His mom gave him advice. He said, Sufyan, never make dua about somebody. Never. Because one of the days he has a dik. Rooster was calling him, waking up in the Fajr. When he was a little bit younger. And one day the rooster didn't call. He called late, so he missed the Fajr. And he said, I hope you never sing again. And يقول أمه قال والله ما رفع. There was no voice from that rooster anymore. So when he went in Mecca, Sufyan, rahimahullah, and he was in Mecca, Abu Ja'far Mansur, he announced, because he was going Hajj, to put the cross right next to the Mecca. He said, when I get Sufyan, I'm gonna nail him in a cross. So Sufyan, he realized because they already tracked him. They was behind. So he went, يقول الذهبي هذا من كرامات سفيان. He went to Asar al-Kaaba. He hold by the Kaaba, he say, he make dua to Allah, he just say, oh Allah, don't make me see his face. He says, before even Abu Ja'far reached in Mecca, the angel of death take his soul. So he never saw Sufyan, neither Sufyan ever saw that man again. So after this fitna was over, the Sufyan said, no, alhamdulillah, I am free. But the Mahdi, Muhammad Mahdi, which means the son of Abu Ja'far, he took over. So when the Sufyan went to Kufa, so he thought his father was bad. So the Mahdi called him. He said, I need Sufyan here. So Sufyan was there. So he went. And he took khatim. He said, Sufyan, here's my khatim. You know the khatim with the ceiling of the Khalifa. He said, here's my khatim. And he said, Uhkum, you judge with kitab or sunnah. Whatever you see halal, make it halal. Whatever you see haram, make it haram. It's yours. He said, this is your khatim? He said, yes. He said, Ya Amir al-Mu'minin, he said, if I say something, you will allow me? He said, of course. He said, you give me security after I say it? He said, of course. He said, then write it down. He called it Katib, write it down. So he said to Katib, he said, write it down and tell to the Khalifa, don't come to ask, to call me until I come. And don't give me money, anything until I ask for it. Which means, don't call me until I come, and don't give me anything until I ask for it. Which means basically, you're not going to find me anymore. I'm going to leave. So he take the khatim, Sufyan, and he stamped it, seal it. So the Mahdi wrote, he was angry and he get up. And the Khatib said, you give him security, you give him aman. Why you change? He said, yeah, I give him security. He said, just get out. So when he get out, the people was waiting, the Talamid was waiting. He said, what are you doing? He said, I'm leaving. He said, he wants to make you have the khatim, you can do anything you want, halal, haram. He said, I'm majnoon. You guys didn't say, I said, I'm not running from because he's gonna punish me. I'm running because he's gonna take care of me too much. He will make me so much ikram. When I see the munkar, the bad, I cannot go against it. So subhanallah, he's mine. He say, I'm not afraid because he's gonna make ihana. He's gonna punish me or he's gonna put me down. I'm afraid because he's gonna raise me so much. When I see the wrong, I cannot stop him. Ikram, ya Sheikh. Sometimes the ikram, the word, رُبَّ كَلِمَةٍ قُلْتَهَا سِرْتَ أَسِيرًا لَهَا. One word, Habibi, can make you slave. You go with the Lord over this, I can give you a coffee. Then you think you only give him a coffee. The Lord has coffee, maybe better than you in his house. After you give him a coffee, say, can you do me a favor? And he cannot say no. Coffee, Habibi. Imagine if you put you as a leader, Habibi, and give you everything. The man is running, Habibi, for power. He's running from the power. He doesn't want to get the power. People today, Habibi, do anything to get the power he doesn't deserve. This is the ulama, Habibi. And this is the lesson we have to take. Sufyan Majlis, if in Masjid, there are 3 people. If the 4th coming, he was getting up and leaving. Khashyatan to somebody raising beyond his limit. So that was the Sufyan. Again, his journey was running away from the Khalifa. The other one. Till the end of his life. When he was in Mecca, he wrote the letter to the Mahdi. He said, Wallahi, Ashkuk, I'm going to complain in front of Allah about you. He said, I didn't find a place to rest, neither a place to stay. I said, but we will meet in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. And I said, I pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to you, letter doesn't reach me, and I'm still alive. And the letter of Khalifa, before he reached the Sufyan, rahimahullah, he passed away. And the Sufyan and Sheikh, يقول Abdullah Mubarak, and other ulama, they say they saw the Sufyan in dream. He was flying from one place to another place. And we asked him what Allah has done with you. He said, Allah has put me mal kiram al-barara. And with the kiram al-barara. But there's no doubt this is that there are so many dreams that came. When the Sufyan rahimahullah died, Abdurrahman Mahdi Allah, they buried him during the night. They buried him in night time. So when the ulama heard about his death, they came in the morning and they prayed again janazah in his grave, and everybody was crying. So the salaf of those people, they saw a dream about Sufyan in Jannah when he was speaking to them like he's still alive. And Imam al-Dhahabi mentioned this min asanid al-sahihah. And these things, Habibi, is not Sufi way, this رؤية المؤمن صادقة. يكون النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بعد after me there is no more revelation. إنما هو مبشرات from the رؤية المؤمن. You guys know the قصة of ثابت ibn Qais. You know who was ثابت ibn Qais, Sheikh? ثابت ibn Qais, one of the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, he say, البس جديدا وعيش حميدا وموت شهيدا. And he died as a shaheed. He كان من أهل الجنة. ثابت ibn Qais, he was the man who was fighting in the time of Abu Bakr مع غزوة اليمامة مع المسيلمة كذاب. You know that was Khalid ibn Walid. He was such a terrifying fight. Even the Sahaba, they have to dig a hole and put themselves to the hole. They couldn't handle it. They couldn't make thabat. So this guy in Hudayfa, he put themselves and dig in a hole and fighting so they cannot run behind. That's how it was scary, because those people was double and the people of the Sahaba in that fight. And happened to die in that night, Thabit ibn Qais. And he has dur. Dur is the shield which you use as a protection. So one of the fighters in the time of the Khalid, he took it because it was beautiful. So he took it and he took it in his tent. He put it under his pillow and he covered it with the clothes. And his horse was there. So he tried to take it home because he liked it. So Thabit ibn Qais in dream, the hadith Thabit, he came to one of the Sahaba and said, go to that khayma, in that tent in the back. And there is a horse is tied there. And his collar is the horse of this. And there is under the pillow. And he's covered with this clothes. There is my shield. Take it. And give it to Khalid, to give it to Abu Bakr, because I have a debt to pay. To sell it and pay. So that's why Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu says there was no wasiyah. What the wasiyah called, Sheikh? Will. Can be taken with dream. Somebody cannot leave will in dream. After he died, that's it. There's no more will. Whatever has is the spirit to the people, whatever he said, except the dream of Thabit ibn Qais. That was the only dream the will was still established with the dream. Because when they went, they find exactly just how it was described in the dream, that place. So he took it and explained to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu. So that this kind of dream, Habibi, this kind of people of Salaf, Allah just show them that karamat, because they live their life with karamat. They live their life, Habibi, they were just like they see the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we're going to mention, inshallah, next time some of the advice, mawa'i, some of the ibar of Sufyan al-Thawri, and then we go with I was thinking to finish it tonight, but I don't know why. I cannot finish it. Something is wrong. Allahumma musta'an.
Sufyan, right?
Sufyan ibn Uyayna, Sufyan al-Thawri. Sufyan ibn Uyayna was the students of Sufyan al-Thawri رحمه الله. طيب نقف إلى هنا الشيخ هذا وصلى الله على نبينا محمد. Anybody has any question, Sheikh?